Live, starting, recording.
We are live.
That was good.
Thanks.
This is the Deering Acting Studio Podcast, where we discuss the connection between life and acting.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Midweek Wednesday pick up. No wonder our numbers are down. I have been missing that song, and so has the rest of the world.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So Joey comes in to a meeting. He's like, guys, I just want to show you a little something. Just want to show you something. Here's the chart. Okay,
Yeah.
boom. And I got to tell you,
Sets it down in front of each of us.
I was real worried. I was like, what is this?
well, it's
What
a
is
really cool
happening
chart
right
because
now?
it goes up, 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 down, down, down. And these are our podcast numbers. And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, did something big happen between, like, I don't know, April and May?
I don't know. Nothing changed for me.
Oh yeah,
so.
the world turned upside down. So we have an idea, but the truth is, okay, we reacted well. We pulled our booties out of our booties, and we came around here. Is that bad? We taking our booties
That's
out of
the
our
worst.
No, you
I'm
take
talking about, I'm talking about booty socks.
my
Your
What are you
booty
talking
head
about?
out of
booty.
your booty.
No, I'm
That
talking
is
about
not a-
sock out of another sock, like a booty sock. No, all right.
I pulled my booty out of my booty, yo.
You know what? He leaned into it, and we just
I almost let it go, but I was like,
No, we
I
couldn't
can't
let
let it
that
go.
go.
I
If
can't.
you let it go, I would lose all respect for you. Thank you,
Very
Joey.
good.
Fair.
I deserve that. Whether it's on time or late, I deserve that want, and I want it, and I will take it.
He will take it.
All right, big booty. What were you saying?
So
No,
the
it's
idea
not,
here.
It's not big booty, it's booty booty.
Booty booty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
booty,
booty,
booty.
booty.
I'm a booty, booty.
Booty number one. Booty number two.
So we're on a Wednesday, and it's like, boom, what are we gonna do? You know, and we have all this crazy momentum going right now, and then Joey's like, wah wah wah, numbers. And the truth is, here's the deal: these aren't the only numbers that look like this.
Right.
Correct.
You know, we got numbers across the company that look like this, and our numbers are probably better than a lot of other companies out there, depending on who you are. Like, the arts are getting crushed right now.
Big facts.
Arts are getting crushed. But let's talk about the poor trampoline parks and, you know, whoever else. Like,
Water park.
Movie
Oh, yeah.
theaters.
there are
and-
places
yeah.
that got it worse than we do.
Much
Yeah.
worse.
And
Yeah.
so we're trying to stay grateful, stay humble, stay, you know, hungry and push. And we realized just by doing that, it creates this like visceral energy, you know?
Visceral?
Visceral, is that good? Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's right.
actually don't know what that means. That's why I repeated
Visceral?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Visceral's
just
a great word.
I just pulled my booty out of my booty there
Yeah.
when I said visceral.
Yeah, but
No,
can you
visceral.
give me
Like a sock out of another sock.
description of what that means?
Like
Sure.
visceral. Yeah, go
Visceral
ahead, Brian.
is-
Visceral.
I mean, I could say what I think it is, but Brian could just read it.
Related to deep inward feelings rather than to the intellect.
So it's like instinctual, visceral, like to bring clarity to like this,
Yes.
right? Like this, like crystal clear, like
ball.
feeling.
A crystal clear
The voters'
ball.
visceral
So
fear
we
of
have this
change.
feeling, right? And I mean, this kind of makes sense to the word now. And I didn't know how great a word it was, but it turns out, dang, it was really,
Really
useful.
Yeah,
good.
really good
Yeah.
word.
Really good choice there.
But we're feeling the momentum. We're not seeing it on the chart here, but we will see it on the chart 3 months from now, 6 months from now. You have to remember, you always get the result from something that you did 6 months ago in the dark.
Yep.
That's where you get paid, you know, and it's so easy to get focused on the wrong things. And I think sometimes even just a Wednesday in general, for whatever reason, people can be like hump day, like sad day, you know, it's Wednesday.
Midweek.
You know, and when you figure this stuff out and you decide it's time, I'm not going to do that to myself anymore. Every day, every single day becomes important, becomes exciting, becomes something that you can make a visceral decision about.
Right.
Yeah,
And
it's interesting because I was just talking to Shay about this morning, and this is what I was going to pull you aside to tell you, but now I could just tell you on here.
I have to interrupt. You're so handsome, bro.
I told him that this morning.
Like, look at that.
I told him that this morning. You know what it is?
He got all
It's
the
the
he got all
beard.
the handsome genes.
It's
Oh.
the beard. Oh, and he shaved the mustache.
I was
Hey,
waiting
you
for her
took
to
Shay's
notice that.
critique.
Yeah.
You took
It
Shay's
looks
critique.
so good.
Yeah, but it took about like 3 hours.
Worth
I'm
it. Worth it. Ladies, he is single. Okay, go ahead. Now tell me what you were going to tell me. He winked awkwardly at the camera.
It's what I do.
Did you wink at the
No,
camera?
I did.
He did.
I looked
Like
right
this,
at
he was
it and I
like-
just went.
Oh,
like that.
All right, handsome. Tell us what's up.
I was just gonna tell you that the leadership since we came back and like
did
all
just say
came
that.
together is like crazy from you. Like the energy is there, the leadership is there, and it's a different tone. So for me personally, it's been a motivating tone. Do what you can every single day in a positive way. Don't let everything that's not getting done drown you. Instead, focus on what you can do, not what you can't do.
Yeah.
And before, I was drowning in that of like everything that's going wrong, everything that we're not doing versus what we are doing. And I just wanted to like shout you out for that because I literally talked to Shay about that this morning. Like it's been a whole different feel around here, and it starts with you, and it's because of the president that you started with when we came back all together this past week. So it was just really, really cool for me.
yeah.
Well, thanks, dude.
He meant precedent, but he said president.
Yeah, I was wondering.
I know,
okay.
I know. And I was
okay.
like, it was such a beautiful speech that,
What?
Do you want to say something or let him listen to it back?
yeah. So it's precedent, not president.
I love it if people are watching, like instead of listening to this podcast, whenever something gets dissed on me, Shay always just reaches over.
I do.
It's okay,
I just
bud.
give him a little like, it's okay, bud.
We love you. We love you so much.
Hey,
But we
it's
wouldn't be
okay.
guardians if we didn't say something about
No.
it. You know.
It's true.
No, and a little foreshadowing. This is something we're going to talk about on Friday. And I just put it out into existence. Matt doesn't know that we're talking about it, but we're going to talk about it on our podcast on Friday.
Sweet.
Is
Sweet.
this idea that there's so much that goes on at the studio that people don't know about. And one of the biggest questions that we get asked is, so like, what do you guys do during the day
Yeah.
at the studio? And just because so many people know us to have classes from 4 to 10 at night, and it's like common knowledge that I think they wonder like, so what do you guys do like during the day? And that's something that we're going to talk about on Friday. So we want you guys to listen to that podcast because it'll be really fun.
That's good because
facts.
I'm interested too. Like I can't wait to find out. Like what
What we do during the
Matt
day.
as
He
our
really wants to
boss,
find
is
out.
really interested
Like,
to see
what
what
do
we
we
do during
do?
the day.
I'm still just mind blown that we get to do what
How
we
do
do.
videos and stuff just get out there? Like,
Right.
I don't even know. I'm not even. I think it's magic. I think there's like elves around here.
It is. It is magic.
Is that what it is? It's
yeah.
elves. It's elves. Tiny elves.
Yeah.
Especially now,
It's-
probably when there's not class, people are just like, "What are you
No.
guys like gone or like?"
Do you guys just lock up, eat at, what's the
Yeah.
place next to us? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking.
Bosa Donuts.
Yeah, but the Mexican food place.
Federico.
Federico's.
Federico's.
Come on, how could you forget about Federico's?
Man, that sounds
Really?
Really?
That
not
never
Federico's.
sounds good.
Not
no,
once.
just Mexican
Not
food.
Poor
once.
Federico's. We
Yeah.
should-
I know, I
If
don't
they're
wanna-
listening right now, like
Sorry.
We
sorry.
love you guys. You know we love you guys.
Right. Just not the food.
No, but
But you guys got great chips.
And
Great
people-
chips and
and
salsa.
human and
Salsa.
people, like great people.
Great
Hey,
people.
hey,
Really
your
great people.
carne asada got me through my
Carne.
senior year at
carne
Shadow.
asada.
No, they got me through some hard times too. I'm not.
They got
for
me
sure.
through a lot of
Yeah.
1 a.m.s, like
Yeah.
so many.
So here's what we're gonna do. Here's our we're just a very quick podcast here. We're talking about midweek energy and thank you, Joey, for saying that. That was so kind of you to mention that the new feel. And I can tell you that I agree. Like it's been different, and it started with a decision that I made. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this statement here as far as what I did to clear my head. Because I had all the same junk going on everybody else did, and it was round 2 of COVID. It hit me, like everybody else. I took my shots, and I'm like, started all the negativity, and I just said, okay, Matt, what's going on with you right now? What are the top things, the big guys that are weighing you down? Pick one, and just go after it hard.
Yes.
So I picked the table that I had started working in the beginning of COVID, and this is a woodworking project, and I was not a woodworker until Shay told me I am now. But it was a big, hard, long project. There was this big old table and bench outside that I completely stripped, sanded, stained from I did everything. I didn't know how to do it. I learned how to do it. I made a lot of mistakes, and this took me probably 6 hours a day for about 2 weeks. I spent on that in the heat, in 100 degrees, 95 degrees, 110 degrees. I got a sunburn on my back from the last day that I was doing it. And
Ouch.
I felt so good. I told myself I was going to do it. I was going to do it by that date because I thought we were going to have Valleywood. So I'd already set that date in advance. I followed through even though we didn't have Valleywood and it was hard. I did it anyway. And I looked at myself and I was like, dude, look at what you can do. With what? Momentum. And that word came to me. I'm like, dude, it's momentum. It's like, it's daily practice on the little things, doing the hard things, doing the things you don't want to do, and it creates energy. So I told myself, that's all I'm going to focus on is that. And I came back and I preached that to you guys, and you bought in, thank goodness. And I did have a different energy and a different mindset because I'm going, there's so many things I cannot control. I gotta take what we preach and hold on to that idea of I'm not going to focus on what I cannot control. Instead, I'm going to go, what are the little things that I can do? I can lift you guys up. I can send motivational text messages. I can be kind. I can honestly ignore some stuff that bothers me. Like I can forgive you without you saying sorry. Like I can do all those things, and I can have a positive mental attitude, and I can just grind and push and be focused. Those are things I can control, and that creates momentum. It creates energy, and that's what you can do right now. It's Wednesday. If you want some midweek energy, choose to do those things.
Yeah.
Choose to look the other way and to create energy. Go ahead, Brett. Or Joey.
Joe, go ahead.
It's so interesting you say that because I totally see that where like before we were getting to this point where we sort of pride ourselves on the radical transparency, the radical honesty with one another, but I think it got to a point where like then we were just overdoing it a little bit. You know, it was like everything that bothered us about somebody on the team or the other person, we would bring it up every time, and at some point that gets overwhelming. It gets tiring, especially with a workload on top of it, right?
Yeah.
And it makes it an experience where you're like, okay, you're trying to look out for that thing, but sometimes it just comes out. And that idea of, hey, I can forgive you whether you say sorry or not. If it's something that bothers me, look inside first. Is it with me? Like,
Yeah.
is it something that I can change? Is there something that I can do about it so that it wouldn't affect me in that way?
Right.
Right.
Look inwards first. That's such a huge idea, and I definitely see where I would call out things that were just a pet peeve of mine that didn't really even have to do with like the self-development of the other person, because like the way you say something or the way you react to me actually sometimes won't make you a better person. It just makes me less irritated.
Sure.
And that's
And
just the
something
difference
I can look
between
inward on.
being honest and being petty.
Yeah.
which is a tough line. Like that's a tough line to cross, because if I think in the why from that, like talking back to momentum, you're thinking about, okay, am I like the other week, and I hope it's okay to talk about this, but
Absolutely.
the other week me and you were upset and I asked you to go really deep because you were frustrated with Brian. And I asked you to go really deep and make sure you knew why you were frustrated. Because was it you were annoyed, or were you trying to help him? And your attitude changed, because I said, when you have this conversation with Brian about a mistake that was made, you need to make sure it's coming from a place of, hey, I want to help you because, you know, A, B, and C makes D, and not because I'm annoyed because you're my brother and you made me mad.
Yeah.
Like those are two very, very, very different things, especially because you guys are our family. And it just has to come from the right place. And I think that gets hard sometimes, and there's a line that gets crossed, and then the honesty comes from a place of making you feel better rather than making the other person grow.
Yeah.
You know? Which is kind of interesting. And I wanted to bring up, Matt, the other day I told you about that video I saw about using the word love, that we use it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was I saw this video, and it was this really cool lady that does little TikTok videos on kind of self-development and in the business world, and she was saying we overuse the word love. And if you think about it, and she made this example and it just blew my mind. She said, you know, I love your dress. I would love to take you out for coffee. I'd love to tell you about my new products, whatever it may be. I love that color on you. And it makes it about you. And that blew my mind. Like, never in a million years. Like, is it really a compliment? You know what I mean?
Well, see,
Yeah.
and this is the stuff. So first of all, I agree with this lady completely. And secondly, before I get there, Brian, go ahead. You were going to talk.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brian.
No, that's okay.
No, I
We're-
cut him off, not you.
We're right here at the wrap up as well, but I just wanted to say that I had a recent discovery also that really helped as you were teaching me through a book that you read on extreme ownership, and I think it comes into just like you said, owning yourself, like really like going and blaming you first, you know, and starting to take accountability for how you could have changed the situation or what you can do to change it, and it does give you so much power. Like, you've been trying to tell me that for a while, but then like it just clicked. Like, there was this click, and it was like everything has been so much easier for me personally. It was really hard to get there, but now by just taking accountability for everything all the time, it has just made life so much easier for me.
Yeah.
And so that's something I think viewers can, coming into midweek, like there will be all kinds of annoying things that come at you, and if you can humble yourself enough to go like, okay, true, but like, what am I accountable for, and what can I control even? So even the things outside of that, I can control how I react to you. I can't control what you do to me or don't do to me, but I can control how I react, how I decide to move forward, how I decide to even let it affect me. And
Yeah.
so that was just really cool.
Totally. And when it comes to this idea of radical truth, I did take it to an extreme because I believe in this extreme ownership. I believe in this radical truth. I try to live by it in everything that I do and say. And so going back to like this lady, we overuse the word love. I totally agree because, and it bothers me because it's changed my life being radically truthful and radically honest and just being willing to be me and be honest with me, that I want it for other people. And that's where it came from. But sometimes I'm saying like, I'm learning to let go of a bunch of stuff because if I can read it quickly and see, okay, it's all right. You're just not ready for this particular lesson right now. I don't need to bring it up. Instead, I can just not be phased. I can take a different approach to this thing and let you figure some of these things out for yourself. And then maybe one day you ask me about it and then I can teach you about it.
Yeah.
So you take this idea of love and you're like, I love your dress. Well, the truth is that's a lie, actually. It's literally a lie. You don't love that dress. You're speaking a lie. Because you didn't pick it out. Maybe you wouldn't even
Right.
pick it out for yourself. Maybe you don't even like it. But they look pretty.
Yeah.
That's the truth. The truth is
That's-
you look pretty, not I
Yes,
love that
I
dress.
love the dress, right. Right.
So those were the little type of things though that I would pick people up on because it's like you're lying. And then they'd be like, no, I'm not. But they were. But at the end, like, why am I doing that? I had to ask myself, what am I doing? Because I'm trying to help, but it's not helping. So try a different approach. And that's part of the new me too.
The new me.
Always learning and growing.
Boom.
That is your Wednesday pickup, everybody. Thanks for joining us today.
Would you like to say it, Shay? Because you were wrapping it
Do
up.
it, Shay.
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 Shay. Shay. Shay. Shay.